on in, brother.
Uros, congratulations,
I'm afraid.
my friend.
I'm glad you're not shaking me with your left hand because I don't really want anything to do with that.
Hey, listen, you guys keep bringing me to this table. Your job might be compromised at some point if I get my hands on this mic much more.
Well, you were good on the mic in the octagon. Yeah. We could see the emotion there. It just means so much to you to have a performance like this in your home country. First time you've been back in 9 years. That's wild.
Yeah, honestly, it's gonna take a minute. I was almost bawling out in the octagon. I don't know. It's a lot. The crowd was unbelievable. I didn't know what to expect walking in there through the tunnel. I just tried to not make eye contact with absolutely anyone because I didn't know who am I gonna see. Could be a mom or dad or uncle, or there were so many friends and family here that I just didn't want to. I didn't want to have any emotion tied to this, and it was so hard. And then I saw his jab was a little slow. I throw a big overhand and it cracks right on the spot. And I know how powerful my punches are. I know that I can finish a fight with one punch. It's like a gun almost. And when it all come down crashing, I almost started crying. I didn't know what to do.
I called your contender series fight. It seems like just yesterday. You have come so far since then. What has this journey been like to get to this point for you, having to be away from home for so long?
I mean, obviously, like any journey, lots of ups and downs, lots of emotions. Obviously, 9 years I've been gone. You know, I built this whole thing in Alaska and California and around the States. I couldn't travel for a hot minute. Now that this all just came kind of all of a sudden, you know, Serbia is having a UFC fight. I'm going as a main event. I tried to okay, just stay composed, take it one step at a time. I didn't know who am I going to fight. Then they say D-Rod, he's coming out of prison, got a lot to prove. He's a veteran, has a lot of fights, barely any losses. And I mean, I don't know, man. It was just, it's going to take a really long time for me to really put together what the heck just happened.
You know, and I'm curious, you say it's kind of hard for you to kind of soak in and encapsulate the feelings you're feeling right now, but if you were to predict, how are you going to feel tomorrow? Obviously, it feels good to win, but this one's different. What do you think the emotion is going to be tomorrow when you wake up the day after this fight?
Well, I don't think I'm going to be sleeping at all. It's a very hard to sleep after the fight.
I did it. I can relate.
After, yeah.
Yep.
You've seen.
Yep.
It's. I'm at loss of words, and also we've leading up to the fight. This is the most amount of interviews and conferences and things that I've done in a fight week, first time ever. So to just go through all of this and come out victorious, man, this is such an accomplishment for me. I have come so far from going to Alaska as a 22-year-old with no clear path, you know, just trying to make something out of my life. And the fighting is the only thing that kind of anchored me down and where I had my place. It was in the gym. So I just kept pushing and pursuing, watching and following closely, and realizing that a little by little, I can find myself there. I can see myself fighting these guys. And then once I got in, I was honestly really scared. You win one, you lose one, you don't know what to expect, struggles, injuries. And then I find my stride, couple wins in a row. I'm already seasoned in this game. And my dream just grew so much. I feel like I'm this close to reach the top, this close to reach the ranked 1, ranked 2, ranked 3. Next thing, I'll be fighting for the belt.
Now, I want to ask you this. Obviously, my last fight's a lot different than this fight for you. But for me, where I can relate is, it's a hometown fight for me, and that whole week I can relate to what you're saying about having to block out the emotions and having to keep myself focused for the walkout. And I knew what I had to do to prepare myself for that moment, but I'm curious, leading up to this fight, what did you do? Did you work with your sports psychologist on this, or is this something that, like, what was your approach and how to keep yourself focused for that walkout? Because I can relate to that, where it's like, hey, yeah, I have to stay focused for the walkout. That's the most important part, because if I can keep myself locked in through that moment, exactly, I'm locked in for the fight. So I'm curious, how did you prepare for that moment?
I mean, I try to visualize it, you know, and I'm a pretty good person like that can kind of see the clear picture. I'm walking through the tunnel. I'm thinking about people with faces that I might come across, and my heart rate is just beating, and I'm trying to breathe and relax through this visualization process. And really, most importantly, I trained really hard. Yeah. I trained really hard. I try to follow the right things, to do the right things. I trust in God's timing. I trust in God. I trust that things are going to work out no matter what. I mean, obviously, I'm not a saint. I'm a sinner myself, and I've done, God knows, many things that are right and wrong. And I just try to be better in every aspect of my life, no matter where I'm at and what is in front of me. I just, okay, we can weather this, we can get better. And thank God, my family, my friends, people around me that have raised me have all been healthy throughout this period of 9 years. Had I had to deal with some unfortunate events on that end, I really don't know how my life would have turned out. And to that, I give credit to nobody but God, to just kind of keep my close people safe and sound and healthy, and I can focus on, because in reality, in life, these are secondary things. Third, the number one priority is safety and health of family, and then friends and people that are important in your life. Then dreams come and other things to satisfy the whatever ego and pleasures you want to satisfy. But in these 9 years, I have been incredibly fortunate to have them all be healthy and support me and cheer on me and come visit me. And I mean, I'm almost there. I'm going to do it.
Well, those dreams are quickly becoming a reality. I never want to talk about another man's money, but I can share with you that you're $100,000 richer tonight because you got a performance bonus.
Wow.
I think that was kind of expected.
I mean, even if it wasn't, I don't know, man. I weathered this. Now it's nothing can. I'm going to try to stay emotionless for a hot second because there's been so much, and I believe the rest of the night will be spent gathering myself together, trying maybe not to cry around my close ones, but there'll probably be a lot of tears, and it's just huge. And this for Serbia, you guys seen these fans are
amazing.
This is only their first time witnessing all of this. I'm sure in the years to come, there's going to be many new faces, many good fighters are going to come out of Serbia, and God willing, we'll bring the belt here.
Well, I would imagine this is the first trip of many here to Belgrade. What an unbelievable fan base this is for the UFC. I do want to spin it ahead a little bit. You've called Leon Edwards out for a second time as we take a look at the rankings in the division right now. Leon Edwards is currently ranked 8th. He also mentioned Carlos Prates as well, who's currently ranked 2nd in the welterweight division. Why those two men?
Well, Leon Edwards is basically on a place where I'd like to be next, at least in the top 10.
Right.
You know, Kamaru Usman just fought. Hakeem Buckley, I think, is scheduled.
Yes.
Bilal Muhammad just fought. Sean Brady, I don't know if he fought recently or what his thing is. Then we've got
he's hurt. Yeah.
Guys that are right around my name: Mike Mallet, Yaroslav Amosov, and Michael Page. Obviously, I'm going to fight whoever they put in front of me. I was never the one to shy away from the fight. If they need me to fight any of these guys, I'll fight any of them. If they need me to fight all of them, I'll fight all of them. It doesn't really matter. But Leon Edwards was a name that puts me in the top 10 without conversation. He is a former champion. After him, I just need one more former champion. And once the second former champion hits the canvas, I'm next in line for the belt.
But I'll tell you, this guy loves nothing more than a good call-out, and those are two great call-outs.
Yeah, they were great call-outs. I was telling them the 60 seconds or less you have on the microphone after a fight is almost more important than the fight itself.
I agree.
Now, you seem like a guy that pays very close attention to your division. So I'm curious, looking ahead to UFC 330, Islam Makhachev and Ian Machado Gary, I'm curious, what are your thoughts on that fight, and what is your prediction as to who walks away with the title?
I don't see Ian's path to victory in that fight. I think it's going to be similar to what Islam did to JDM. Obviously, Ian Gary has length and reach advantage, and he's known to be a good runner. He'll score his points, little kicks here and there, and then try to run. But I think at some point in that fight, Islam will get a hold of him, and I don't think Ian can deal with that wrestling. To be honest, I can't deal with that wrestling at the moment. I'm going to be building in my career, obviously. But I don't think anybody in the division can deal with that wrestling. There was a guy at one point, his name was Alexander Volkanovski. He was the closest one to deal with that, and he's done amazing. We can only learn from that fight. But yeah, I don't really see any of the guys getting that belt from Islam. But Father Time is coming and knocking. And with Father Time, some new faces come around. And unless he decides to retire, which would be a smart move at some point, there will come a new face that will knock him out. And it wouldn't be
that new face is you.
Exactly, and
You're
it
the
wouldn't
guy.
be his first time to get knocked out by a southpaw.
Yeah.
So
I just have to say this to Zach Candido, our boss, our executive producer in the truck. This guy is great on the mic. I think
really
he might
is.
have a future.
So, hey,
you know what I mean?
I used the wrong word as I grabbed my mic. I said compromise. I would have joined you guys, not compromise you. I would
It's
have
all
just
good.
helped you. Yeah.
Uros, what an incredible performance. Great job up here with us. Thank you so much for taking the
Thank
time.
you guys. Welcome
Man,
to
that was
Serbia.
awesome.
I hope
Hey,
you get to
I'll see
enjoy
you
it.
this winter.
Sounds good. We're going to Alaska.
I'm coming.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
And you know who else is coming? I don't know if you guys have beef. I hope not. Jorge Masvidal.
No, me and Jorge, we're
Okay,
we're
you guys tight. We
Yeah.
talked. He said we're going to Alaska. So 3 of us, if you guys are willing to join, you better know how to ski or snowboard. So it's
There
gonna be
is
fun.
zero chance that Jorge Masvidal is a skier.
I think he's a
I think
skier.
he likes it.
Really?
I
Yeah.
think he's a skier. It's surprisingly Cuban. He's Cuban,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
impressive.
If he can, we're gonna see. All right, this winter, I'll get my cameras ready.
Yeah.
I'll have GoPros everywhere,
Yeah.
and we'll be recording Jorge and see if he can really ski.
I want
do
to
it.
see it. Awesome. Uros, thank you so
Uros.
much, man.
Congrats,
Thank you
man.
guys.
Good job.
Thank you.
Congrats, brother.